How's it going, guys? Tony here. Today we are going to review Castlevania Bloodlines on the Sega Genesis. This is part of my Sega Genesis mini reviews, and we're going to see if this is worthy or not to be on the Sega Mini. I'm also going to share a short review and some childhood memories. And guys, don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, that's going to put you in the running for a Sega Genesis Mini. I'm giving away one at the end of the month. So let's check it out. Thanks for watching. Another Sega Genesis mini review. Konami's 1994 release, Castlevania Bloodlines. This game is also known as Vampire Killer in Japan and Castlevania the New Generation in Europe. This Castlevania does not follow the Belmont clan in its ever-ending quest to defeat Dracula, but there are two new main characters. John Morris, a whip-handling American, and Eric Lacarde, a dude with a spear who can jump. When I heard this game was going to be included with the Sega Genesis Mini, I was very, very excited. I passed on playing this game as a kid and was very curious if this measured up with the other Castlevania games that came out during this era. Is it as good as Castlevania 4? How different is it compared to a traditional Castlevania? Let's check it out and see if it's any good and if it belongs on the Sega Genesis Mini. Does this game belong on the Sega Genesis Mini? Being the only Castlevania game to come out on the Sega Genesis, I believe that this is a great inclusion on the mini console. It is easy to put on the list of 42 games just out of sheer curiosity alone. Most casual fans of the series might have passed on this game back in the 1990s, and they might not even have known that this game was a part of the series. It is awesome that this game is included on the Sega Genesis Mini, but you can also play it on the Konami Classics Castlevania Collection. The Konami Castlevania Collection is only $20 and can be downloaded on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Steam, and Switch. Not only is it a good way to quench your curiosity about one of the series' forgotten gems from the 16-bit era, this is a great game. Let's talk about the good. The good about Castlevania Bloodlines. Castlevania Bloodlines is one of the most graphically appealing games on the Sega Genesis. There's a lot of color here for such a dark game. It is so gorgeous. The soundtrack is also very memorable and is as good, if not better, than some of the other games in the series. That's really hard to say. What I like the most about Castlevania Bloodlines is the choice you have between John Morris and Eric Lacarde. This leads to more replayability and gives you options. I typically go with Eric because of his longer reach and his quote-unquote super jump ability. John is okay, and if you want a more traditional Castlevania feel, then go with him. I also like the mini-boss and boss battles. They're very challenging and very rewarding once you figure out the patterns to beat them. You will also enjoy exploring and trying to find secrets within the game. Overall, this title on the Sega Genesis is worthy to be called a Castlevania game. Let's talk about the bad. And to be honest, this is about a 9.5 out of 10 game for me. And I do not have many complaints about Castlevania Bloodlines. Sometimes the game could be unfair in a traditional quote-unquote Castlevania way, and this can be frustrating. For some reason, I had the most difficulty on the stairs, and this seems to be a Castlevania tradition that is upheld in Bloodlines. Sometimes the boss patterns can be unfair too, and it can make you want to throw the controller against the wall. Now, the good thing is you can actually go and change the difficulty setting from easy to normal to hard, and you can also adjust the amount of lives you can have if you're having some more trouble. Other than some minor issues, this is a great Castlevania game. Childhood memories. Let's talk about some memories I had growing up with Castlevania Bloodlines. So first and foremost, I don't have any Castlevania Bloodline childhood memories other than seeing it in my local rental store and looking at the artwork. I really enjoyed the artwork on the cover, and I always wanted to play it. My parents, being the good parents that they were and are, they would not allow me to rent this because of the violence and the violent name, Bloodlines. As time went on, I always remembered the artwork from the game and remained curious about it and how it stacked up with the other Castlevania titles. I recently picked it up in the spring of 2019 at Grumpy Bob's in Fairfield, Illinois. This is before the Konami collection was announced and released, but I'm still glad to have this game in the physical in my Sega Genesis collection. In conclusion, Castlevania Bloodlines deserves a spot on the list of 42 games on the Sega Genesis Mini. It is a gorgeous game with great gameplay. You will love the soundtrack and also the replayability with the two different main characters. How do you think Castlevania Bloodlines stacks up against the other Castlevania games from this era? Does it belong on the Sega Genesis Mini? What is your all-time favorite Castlevania game? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to be included in my contest for a chance to win the Sega Genesis Mini. I'm giving it away at the end of the month. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of this footage, and I'm going to try to go to the end of Stage 1 and unsuccessfully beat the boss. Have a great day.